To build the perfect pie chart, first we're going to look at some examples of pie charts that didn't work so well. I've got 4 or 5 graphic examples right here. Here is the first one. Are you ready? Talk about overexplosion here. Can you see how far apart these segments of the pie are? Can you see how big the title is? Can you see how poor the use of space is? Let's go ahead and fix this one. Firstly, that explosion idea, we've got to go ahead and select the segments. Then we can go to the top of Excel, format and format selection. And we're interested in, if we click on these bars here, we can then see this pie explosion idea. If you're going over 5%, I don't think we can be friends. I'll be honest. So maximum pie explosion, we're going to take this down to 5%. And you can see we've got just a little bit of separation between the pies. That to me is probably just too much, but a little bit of separation allows us to get a 3-dimensional effect, not a 3D chart, but a 3-dimensional shading effect. We're going to have a look at that later. Let's also think about this title. Does your chart even need a title? It takes up unnecessary space and makes the chart look cramped. So I'm going to go Control C here, select the title. I'm then going to delete the title. Just going to pull the chart down 1 row using the Alt key. I'm going to use the row above the chart to give the chart a title here. So Alt H M C on the Windows PC, double click in the cell and then Control V. And we can see our title has gone in there. So to create a chart title, we do need a chart title so the user can understand what the chart is doing. Doesn't need to be in the chart. There it's taking up really valuable real estate. Suddenly we've got all this room to properly size the pie chart. And note with pie charts, we have this additional container, Control Z here, we have this additional container within the chart that allows us to position the pie chart. We're also going to get rid of the key in just a second. So we've rescued one. We've rescued one pie chart. Are you going to save a friend? Before we get into number 2, a big welcome to Tiger Spreadsheet Solutions. Thank you for watching this video. Let me tell you briefly about my Excel cheat sheet. What do you need to learn in Excel? I've laid it out all for you. The 13 formulae, 21 techniques that you need to know. It's going to structure your Excel learning, give you direction, allow you to know what you don't need to learn. It's absolutely free. Link is in the description below. I'll see you there in the Excel cheat sheet. Let's get on to our second. It's a pie chart crime. We've got to call it a pie chart crime. What about this kind of pie chart? Looks fine. Better use of space. You're saying, Chris, what's wrong? So let's try to interpret the data. Okay, this dark blue segment, what does that mean? That's less than 30. The orange, that means more than 30, less than 5. I'm already tired trying to interpret this data. That's because the key is so far removed from the segment of the pie chart. It takes ages to interpret the data. Let's fix this one. Get rid of the legend. Pie charts do not need keys or legend. I've just clicked on it, hit delete, and there we're back to the basics. We can go ahead and get rid of the title too, as we did last time, if you want to do that. We're going to add what is called, we're going to go to chart design here, add chart element, add what are called data labels. And we can choose where to position these data labels. I'm going to go inside ends, but where you put them depends on the nature of your data. If you've got very small segments, then it might not be appropriate there. So you can see these values have appeared. So now we don't need a legend so much because we're allowed to effectively write on the chart a little bit, but this isn't informative yet. So we need to select the data labels. You can see they're selected. We can then go to format selection, and we can control what appears inside the data labels. Now, I really like having the category name and the percentage, or you could go for the value. In this case, I think the percentage is good. The category name and the percentage. So this to me is a big improvement. No key. We've used those data labels. Are you ready for the next one? Too many pies. Well, it's Easter now. We're eating a lot. I'm going to have an Easter egg over this weekend. Are you having too many pies though? What about this? So how would we interpret this pie chart? Yeah, more than 30, less than 40. I can see that. More than 40, less than 50. I can see that. I said, whoa, what is going on up here? Very common mistake in pie charts is to have too many segments in the chart. More than 5 or 6 segments is going to be too much. How can you avoid that? Well, the real key to the perfect Excel chart is proper preparation of data. In particular, I recommend you use these catch-all segments or categories when you're creating a pie chart. In just a second, I'm going to create a pie chart myself. I'm going to use this data here, the frequency formula. If you have continuous data, you need the frequency formula. You can check out our video on that. If you've got discrete data, you need the count if formula. You can see these categories are not uniformly sized. The first one is 30 and the last one is what, 90. So they don't need to be uniformly sized. That means we can catch all, and that means we can avoid too many pies. I've actually hidden a chart on this sheet. Let's go to page layout, selection pane, and I can see just right. How about this? Which chart would you rather look at? That's the power of the catch-all category. I love a pie. I'm from England. Pie and chips. Yes, not too many pies in a pie chart. What about this one? 3D. Let's talk about 3D. Now, I love 1D. I know the One Direction boys, big fans of the channel. Niall, Harry, how are you boys doing? 2D, yes. 3D, no. 3D is too much for me, generally speaking. Is this chart easy to interpret? The only thing that matters is the chart helping the person look at it, interpret the data? I'm not sure about this. How would we go about fixing it? Well, we're just going to click on the chart. Let's go to format and then format selection. And then, okay, can I find the 3D formats here? Let's see if I can find the 3D formats. Okay, let's go format again. I've just clicked on the whole chart. Format selection here. What have we got? Can we find the 3D format? 3D formats are here. Okay, yeah, here we are down here. So Y rotation, I'm going to increase that. And that to me is just about acceptable, but I'm still not sure if the 3D effect is adding much. For me, I'd want to be around here. Even then, I'm not sure if this is adding much. So I clicked on the chart, format selection, got into this menu here, and here we can control the 3D formatting. Is it adding much? Personally, I always go for the 2D chart. You can disagree, of course. Leave me a comment. Let's have a discussion in the comments. What about an over formatted chart? To me, this is over formatted. You know, charts are always subjective to some extent. How would you quickly generate this formatting? Well, you can go select the chart and then go to chart design. Up here, you've got all of the recommended designs that Excel gives us. Look at this shocker. Talk about crimes to data visualization. No, but seriously, they're actually good for generating ideas. I'm not recommending these necessarily, but they're good for generating ideas, helping you explore what you need in a chart and maybe what you don't need in a chart. So we've managed to fix, to some extent anyway, some shocking pie charts. Are you going to do this? Are you going to save a friend? But before we go, let's go ahead and build one. Download the download file, work along with me. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I don't just criticize. I'll build one and you can criticize it. Let me know what you think. The key to building charts in Excel, select the data first. Always select the data first, and the data is well organized using the frequency formula. We've got 6 categories, more than 6 categories. Your pie chart is probably going to look too complicated. Data is pre-selected. Insert pie chart. I'm going 2D. You can go 3D if you have to, but not too much tilt on those 3 dimensions, please. Right, straight off the bat, let's clean out what we don't need. We don't need the title. You see the pie expand, it's using the space better already. And then let's delete the key or the legend as well. And then I'm going to position the chart using the Alt key, position the chart to snap it to the grid. Now, it doesn't look great yet, does it? It doesn't look great, but it's looking, we're certainly using the space well. I'm going to use this area for the title. Alt HMC is going to merge the cells, and then I'm going to say the title here, something like salary data colon. This is how I do chart titles, something colon, and then an explanation of what it is, and then it's number of occurrences per salary band. That's what we're looking at. So we've got our basic setup here, but it's just colors at the moment, isn't it? We've got to make sure the data is easy to interpret. How do we do that? With a key? No, not with a key. We're going to go format. We're going to go chart design rather, add chart element, and then we're going to add those data labels. And I'm saying inside end is usually a good place to put those data labels. At the moment, yeah, we're just showing the number of occurrences, not quite yet there yet. Select the data labels, format, format selection. I'm going to go percentage and category name, and I can untick the others. And already we've got a pretty informative chart. I think we're getting there, not there yet. So let's think about presentation. Now, I briefly mentioned I'm not a fan of 3D, but I am a fan of depth. I'm a fan of depth, and I'm a fan of layering. Can we create a sense of layering that's going to make the chart pop from the page, going to make the chart stand out, make people want to engage with it? How about that? A couple of things we can do. Let's take the chart container first. I've clicked on it. We're then going to go format. I'm going to put a line on the container, and then I'm going to put a shadow effect on the container. Can you see the difference there? So we put the border on, and the container has a shadow. It's suddenly standing out. The chart is standing out. So we have a sense of 3 dimensions, but a very subtle sense. We don't need the 3-dimensional chart. I'd go ahead. We're getting into the realms of subjectivity now. You might like this or not like this, but I'm going to go ahead, make sure we've got some borders, if you like, on the segments. Those borders are too thick for me. I'm going to go format again. The line thick, the weight, we need one, probably 3/4 PT here. I got the wrong thing there. Control Z. We don't need them on the data labels. Selecting the segments now, format, and then I'm going to go 3/4 of a point here. I'm going to go for a little bit of chart explosion. So I've clicked on the segments again, format selection. Over here, let's go for 3. How about 3? That looks good. I'm going to go 4. That for me is about what? Right. That's going to open up some gaps, and we can just put our 3D formatting, a little bit of shadow effect on there. Going to go to format, once again to our shadow, and there we go, got our shadow effect. We're now working on 2 layers. Can you see how the chart is standing out there? I'm worried about the contrast here because we've got black on dark blue. I'm going to click twice on this segment. That means only that segment is selected. I'm going to manually change the color of one of the segments, change that to white. That means we can see the text. I think this is looking a lot better. Finally, a subtle fill on the container, just a subtle fill we're looking for. Let's go to format and our paint can here. Let's go to gradient. I'm going to go for a light blue fill. And for me, that chart has been rescued. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video.